Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this episode, we're talking about swinger myths.
This is going to be a fun one, so stay tuned.
So do you like my shirt?
I love your shirt.
Yeah, well, there's so much talk about pineapples recently
Right.
that I figured this would be a perfect example to just kind of wear something that had the little secret pineapples here
Well,
and there.
I specifically bought this shirt for you because it does have upside down pineapples on it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I can wear this anywhere and people will be like, oh, maybe that guy.
I wonder about him.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about that because there are a lot of swinger myths.
Yeah.
And the big popular one right now is the old pineapple or the upside down pineapple.
Right.
So there have been actually a lot of TikTok videos actually recently that have been saying, hey, did you know that a pineapple is a secret code for swingers? So vanilla people think that there are swingers everywhere.
Yes.
And there might very well be.
Well, I also think it's funny that vanilla people also think that swingers are like constantly on the prowl.
Constantly on the prowl,
Like you have to be careful. If you're vanilla and you're not into swinging, you have to like be really careful about
Sure.
what you do because you don't want to attract those swingers.
That's right. And people are posting, oh, there's a door that has a pineapple on it. Those people are clearly swingers.
Clearly.
And it's kind of a weird thing because there is no truth to that.
No.
And it actually started out as a rumor decades ago, which is actually kind of a funny story that there was this old wives' tale that if you saw someone in the grocery store who actually had an upside down pineapple in their shopping cart, then they are clearly a swinger.
Clearly.
Yeah, so actually today I went to the grocery store, since I go do the grocery shopping for us, and I purposely put a pineapple upside down in my shopping cart, and I walked all the way around the grocery
And
store.
how many people came up to you and asked you if you wanted to fuck them?
Zero.
Oh.
And I know. And usually it's like half a dozen, but the pineapple, I don't know, maybe turned them off.
Did they look at you funny? Like, oh my gosh, that's a swinger. That's a swinger. Everybody tell that person that's a swinger. That's a swinger. Did they take pictures of you for their TikTok? There's this. I saw a swinger in the wild.
Yeah.
You know you're going to be on a TikTok video because they saw a swinger in the wild.
Unfortunately, it did not happen. It did not happen. And which is actually the funny part about that old wives' tale is that that's just so unrealistic.
Right.
Do you just walk around the grocery store all day long hoping somebody spots you?
Eventually another swinger will come in.
And they'll be like, hey, you're a swinger
you-
too? I have a pineapple backwards. Perfect.
we're
Upside
just
down.
both swingers, so we're going to just go fuck in the restroom. Because, you know, that's what we do.
That's what we do. And it's funny because that's obviously that's very unrealistic and kind of a silly little story. But that one's been going around for decades. And because of that funny story that people hear vanilla people saying, it's actually kind of turned into that a little bit. Like the realistic world has been created by this fantasy that the vanilla people have started out with. So now, and only over the last few years, pineapples have become popular in culture. They were back in the 60s and such, but now they're everywhere. You go in any home store or anything like that,
Oh, you
there's
see
pineapples
T-shirts everywhere
Yeah.
and earrings, jewelry, purses with pineapples on.
And so, because of what all of this TikTok stuff going on, or all these rumors of the last few years, swingers actually have started to take back the pineapple.
Yeah.
And
Take back the pineapple.
take back the pineapple. That's the hashtag.
I love this.
And they've started to wear them to parties, and they've started to wear them to events and that type of thing. However, they're not wearing them or showing them off in places that people would think based on these rumors.
Right.
So, I wouldn't be wearing this shirt to the grocery store or the mall going, hey, I hope somebody picks me up. I hope somebody sees this because I'm wearing that, because that's ridiculous.
Right.
But if you go to Club Sapphire or you go to an event or, a big hotel takeover or whatever, there's tons of people wearing pineapples. Upside down
For
pineapples.
sure.
I've seen ties. I have a little tie pin that I often wear that's probably in some of these videos that has a little pineapple on it. People with earrings and it's really funny. And actually, right now we're remodeling our house that we just bought a few months ago, and we're very proud of the fact that we do this and that we are in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we don't particularly care that if people know, but we want it to be subtle too.
Sure.
So I made these stepping stones that are pineapple shaped, cement stepping stones, and I put them in the front yard, little area, and one of them is upside down in the middle. And I posted this picture that I took of this in just kind of a generic mid-century modern home Facebook group, because that's the type of home that we have. And so many people were like, did you know pineapples were a sign of swingers? Like, everybody was saying that. No. And other people were like, I had no idea. And they're like, oh yeah, I saw it on TikTok, so it must be true. But it was over and over and over again. I'm like, wow, this is really getting out there in the vanilla world, so I figured we should probably tell people that it's just not that realistic.
Right.
And other people were commenting saying, yeah, it's totally true. In fact, one time I had a pineapple symbol up on top of my door, and a couple of swingers came up to my door and knocked on the door and asked me to have sex with them.
That's so fake.
Sorry to disappoint you. Swingers don't do that.
No, no. We don't just go around neighborhoods looking for symbols and then knocking on random people's doors. I mean, how crazy would that be, right? Like, you're sitting at home having a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden you get a knock on your door, and it's like two swingers there with a pineapple for you, and they're like, our pineapple's upside down too. Let's go to your back room and fuck right now.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Before the school bus comes.
Yeah, but people really believe these things, and they're actually afraid that if they have some pineapple decoration, that suddenly that they're just going to get inundated by all the swingers in the neighborhood. Now, there are a lot of swingers in your neighborhood. I mean, that is definitely true. I mean, there's a lot here in Seattle, but like, I mean, you go to LA or Florida or something like that, I mean, you can't throw a dildo 6 feet without hitting a swinger. So.
That's good.
Oh, thank you. It's totally true, too. And you know, it's funny because there are a lot of rumors like this, you know, and they pop up. They pop up, too. I see them just, you know, randomly on Facebook or whatever it might be, just all the time. Or even YouTube videos or whatever it might be that someone will comment and they'll be like, what else was there? Oh, there was, what's the type of grass?
Pampas?
Krampus. But rather than Krampus, Pampas grass, yeah.
We were actually Googling how to
pronounce that. So that was another one that if you, specifically if you put Pampas grass in your front yard, that is a welcome mat to basically have someone come and have sex with you in your house.
And white rocks.
That's another one. If you have a white rock in your front yard, that means something. Actually, I've seen these for years and years and years, and just yesterday someone said if you have a green light in your front yard, that also is basically a welcome. And
okay, so you'll know our house because we already have the pineapples upside down. He's about to get some of that pampas grass and white rocks to surround it beautifully, and then we'll have green lights surrounding the house. So it'll be like, swingers here, come meet us before the school bus comes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, it's funny that these things happen and that they exist, but there's really just not that much truth to them.
Yeah. That's kind of fun though. I mean, we all like pineapples.
Oh, what was the other one? Oh, the anklet. The anklet is.
Oh, right.
Okay, so there's another one which actually is based off a little bit of truth, which is the anklet that a woman will wear that has a
Queen of Spades
on it that basically says that she is in a relationship, like a cuckold relationship with her husband, so that she can go have sex with other men.
But I've even heard before, if any woman wears an anklet, she's a swinger.
Yeah, oh yeah, any anklet at all. Yeah, and it's just, and people are like, oh my God, I wear one. Oh no, I'm not a swinger, I swear. It's like, no, it's just an anklet. It's just an anklet. No one's gonna come up to you and be like, hey, nice anklet.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way.
No.
You know, and it's funny.
Are we making you sad right now? Like, did you think that if you wore an anklet, like, people would just come up to you? Like, I don't want to make you sad. We just want to bring you back down to reality and warn you.
Now, of course, this all started out, too, with the key party.
Right.
The key party is an interesting one, and that actually is based a little bit in truth, but not to what people think it is, okay? And I've actually done quite a bit of research on this over the years, and I've talked to a lot of old-timers that have been in the lifestyle for decades, and you could do a key party nowadays, even. So, I'm sorry, let me back up. If you're not familiar with what a key party is, the concept was that men and women would come to a house, and the men would put all their car keys into a big bowl, and the women would pull the random keys out, and they would have to go have sex with that the owner of that car. Okay, so that in itself almost sounds like non-consent, And because it's like, oh, you have to have sex with this person.
Right.
Okay, and even back 50 years ago, when consent obviously was a very different thing, there was really no truth to that. Unless, and this is the case, again, if you did this today, everybody knows each other and everybody's kind of played with each other. So for example, we've had times where we've had half a dozen couples that we've all played with each other, we've all done the thing, and it would be fun to say, hey, I don't know who I'm going to have sex with tonight. It's going to be random. We'll put it in a bowl. It's cool. You would have sex with any of the half dozen guys. I would have sex with any of the half dozen girls, but that's not saying much. And because I do that, but and it would be fine. And so that would be fun. But that's really where it's based off of. But other than that, it's really there just isn't truth to those types of things.
I feel like, and I don't know if this is where it came from. If you've done the research, maybe Hollywood has kind of brought that to be what people think is the truth. Because I feel like I've seen television shows or movies where they have these key parties. So I feel like Hollywood makes up a lot of this stuff, and then the vanilla people are all like, oh, so it must be really true. If Hollywood says it's true, then that is the truth.
Fun fact, if you watch The Grinch with Jim Carrey, they have a house party in a scene where they actually throw their keys into a bowl. They actually have a key party in the house. It's a 2-second joke in the background type of thing, but it's like, did you see that? Did you see that? It's like, only adults will get that joke. The Who's are freaks. Yeah, so we just kind of wanted to give a little bit of lightness to this. It's interesting that people spout these rumors, and and unfortunately there really isn't much truth to them. However, now that the pineapple thing is becoming so popular, feel free.
Knock on a neighbor's door.
Again, hashtag take back the pineapple.
Yes.
And of course, now that you're on Amazon checking out what pineapple things you should buy for the next party, to decide which party to go to www.clubsapphire.net. Check out all the awesome lifestyle parties that are coming up. Come to any one of them, wear whatever pineapples you want as little subtle things, and we love that. Everybody loves that. So anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.